Next up on Week in Review.
The Perkins brothers give us the over-under.
Oz Tool Talk is in this episode for some reason, twice.
And Vince gives us a tool top 10 list.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review. Hey guys, I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. Welcome back to the Power Tool Week in Review. It is March 6th, 2020, and here are this week's Power Tool stories.
We usually try to ease you guys into the tool news each week, but not today. Let's learn something. If you're not familiar with Project Farm, prepare to lose your weekend. This guy loves to test products, and this week he set his sights on the Impact driver bits. 10 different brands, all using Phillips No. 2 bits. He demonstrated the greatest amount of testing dedication I've ever seen by screwing in 1,000 drywall screws into 4x4s. No thanks! Fortunately, you can save yourself the RMI by visiting Project Farm on YouTube.
Did you know you're rolling up your electrical cables wrong? Well, the Perkins Builder Brothers aim to fix that with a guide to the over-under technique for rolling up your cables. They not only teach you the process, but they also demonstrate the difference between the over-under and the over-over style by tossing each across the job site with varying results. I know what you're thinking, and yes, it also works on your headphones. You can learn for yourself at Perkins Builder Brothers on YouTube.
Normally, we turn to Vince and the Very Cool Gang for pro tool advice, but not today. This week, Vince decided to turn his attention to the DIY homeowner and put together a top 10 list of tools you need to have to get the basics done at home. The list includes several of the usual suspects, including pencils, PPE, screwdriver, knife, but most importantly,
coffee. You're going to want a whole bunch of that.
For that entire list, head over to VCG Construction on YouTube.
The Aussies are back reminding us that it sucks here because it's summer there. This time, Mike and Dwayne head outside to try the entire line of Ego's commercial backpack system, which includes a blower, hedge trimmer, brush cutter, and line trimmer. They seem to be really happy with the power and the versatility that comes with keeping the power on your back. They're quick to admit that they're not pro landscapers and can't comment on the pricing of the system, but I'm willing to bet that some of you pros can answer that for them in the comments. You'll find the video at Oz Tool Talk on YouTube. Speaking of professionals getting things done, it is time for actual work with Rob Robillard. Hey, Rob.
Hey guys, how are you this week?
We're good.
I want to share with you a tip that I use on a lot of my remodeling jobs. I use portable storage containers. This one happens to be from Pods, but you can use any company. Some guys even use those Connex trailers if they're doing longer term projects. But you can rent one of these guys for, it's about 12, 14 feet long, and you can rent them for about $350 for a month. We store furniture in here when we're doing our floors over. We store tools and materials in here. Sometimes if it's raining or snowing out, this becomes our workshop. It's not a bad idea. It's better than a pop-up tent. It's a really good tip. Check out the inside. So here it is. We use this for all kinds of applications. On this particular job, we stored materials in it in the beginning, and then later on, towards the end of the job, we had furniture in here while we were doing the hardwood floors over. It's got a translucent ceiling, so you get light in here. Durable, waterproof, and like I said, you bill it towards a job. It's about $350 for the month, and it actually solves problems for us on the job site. I hope this helps. Have a great week.
Thanks so much, Rob. It's time again for construction industry news, courtesy of the Construction Junkie. This week, Shane shared an update on job site exoskeletons. There are currently 3 major players in the space, including Exobionics, Fracco, and Levitate Technologies. Each one aims to use passive springs and tension systems to reduce strain on workers who have to carry heavy things or hold tools over their head for long periods of time. Each one takes a slightly different aim at the problem, but all 3 make you look cool, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose.
That sounds like an oversimplification.
Moving on, there's a new robot dog in the playground, and this one's cheaper. Not sure that's a good thing when it comes to buying robots, but this one still looks good. This is Spirit from Ghost Robotics. This guy doesn't look quite strong enough to carry your tools around for you, but like Spot from Boston Dynamics, they expect that by the second quarter of this year, he'll be walking around and inspecting job sites and scaring the crap out of workers using incredibly dangerous power tools. Hooray for progress! For these stories and all your construction industry news, be sure to visit constructionjunkie.com and tell them that Rob over at Belts and Boxes is stealing all their content.
I feel like he knows that already. Anyway, let's wrap up our day on Instagram with a few of our favorite posts, starting with Jeff, who kicked his week off with the rigid 241 Mega Press.
Travis showed off a clever speed square from Crescent with a folding extension arm that we originally saw at STAFTA. Travis has nothing but good things to say about it, which is enough for me to order one.
The guys over at Toolbox Buzz started a major project this week, building a deck next to a lake. I want to build something next to a lake.
We all do, Sarah, but Todd won't let some of us back on the job site after that last misunderstanding.
What?
Our buddy Ethan from the Build with Ethan hosted Alex Snodgrass, also known as the Bandsaw Master, in his shop this week. They were filming an episode of People, Places, Power Tools with Ethan, found right here on Belts and Boxes. You can watch that episode of the recording coming this Thursday at 5 p.m.
I have to stop back in Australia one more time where Dwayne was showing off the new Makita track saw, which he liked so much he apparently refused to share with Mike. Oh, poor guy.
You're way too nice to those guys.
You mean not nice enough?
That is not what I meant. Anyways, if you need to work in a dusty environment or want to protect your lungs, well, tough cookies, bud, because your paranoid neighbors are hoarding all the respirators, not understanding how the coronavirus works. Ohio Power Tool, one of our show sponsors, posted a photo on Instagram this week, lamenting their lack of inventory. Early on, they limited dust mask and respirator purchases to only 3 per person, but that didn't help. They still sold out in a matter of days, and the waiting list for more is over 6 months long. If you've got any left, be sure to save them for the jobs you really need to get done. This is not what I meant.
You're not my mom.
Isn't your dad the safety inspector?
You're not my dad either.
Okay, both two very true statements. Thanks guys so much for watching. Last week we told you we're coming up on our 100th episode. We asked you to share in the comments below how we should celebrate. Several people asked for a giveaway. We're working on that. And a bunch of you asked for a Q&A, so we're gonna do that. So in this week's episode, go down to the comments, ask us anything you'd like, and in next week's 100th episode, we'll do our best to answer them.
Thank you, Ohio Power Tool and Ego, for sponsoring the show. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
I'm gonna assume she just said what she's supposed to, and I'll say I'll see you next week.
Boo!